I'm BKFC athlete Paige Dancer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip produces. There you go, baby.
Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Good afternoon. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I am Christopher James. I am here to chat with you today about a couple of things. I just got to do a couple of things real quick. First of all, right here. So let me just set up everything for you guys. But we've got some big news today, man. Big news today. Oh, man. UFC 274 has a big problem. All right. Yep. UFC 274. First of all, how you guys doing today, man? Good to see you. Let me just share this out to some groups right now real quick, and we'll get the party started. So, big news of the day. I mean, don't forget tonight we've got PFL, we've got Bellator, we've got BKFC. Tomorrow night it's UFC 274. So, but man, some stuff has been going on in the UFC, and the big news is former UFC lightweight champion, because now he is the former champion, Charles Dubrox Oliveira, misses weight. He came in at 156 on his initial attempt on the scale. He stripped down to his underwear, landed at 155 and a half. They gave him an hour to cut. He came in at 155 and a half. As we all know, championship weight must be made for a championship fight, so he needed to come in at 155 pounds or less. He did not meet the criteria. Therefore, the UFC has announced officially the lightweight strap is vacant. And that means tomorrow night at UFC 274, Charles Oliveira, even with a victory in the fight, cannot become the lightweight champion of the world once again. However, Justin Gaethje is not being penalized, and if he wins the fight, he is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. If he loses the fight, well, that means we have a vacant lightweight championship, and then all hell is going to break loose inside the lightweight division of the UFC. So it's crazy right now. Let me get this. Like I said, let me share this out to some groups real quick here, guys, if you don't mind. This is weird. It's not doing everything it's supposed to do. But that's okay. We'll just get this started up here. And then I'm going to bring you some interviews from Dylan Kleckler and Arnold Adams at BKFC 25 weigh-ins yesterday. Excuse me. Normally when I go to share into a group, it just populates a list and allows me to just, go. So, but now it's making me do each individual group. I don't know why, but whatever. That's fine. I can handle it. I was at the weigh-ins yesterday. Everybody was in good spirits. Weigh-ins for BKFC 25 yesterday. It's BKFC 25, Adams versus Kleckler for the BKFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Once again, the Police Gazette Diamond Belt will not be on the line, as there is no longer an affiliation between BKFC and the Police Gazette, because, money, one of the key factors in that thing. Not that the BKFC doesn't have the money to spend on sanctioning by Police Gazette, but all of a sudden Police Gazette wants sanction. I know when they first showed up, they weren't asking for sanctioning money. They just wanted to be part of the show to get their name out there. Now all of a sudden, with other bare knuckle organizations stepping in, they want to get paid. They messed some stuff up. The Police Gazette Diamond Belt is now, just out there, and they're going to end up crowning some other guy as the champ. We'll do the rest of these later. I'm going to do one more here. Can't See Hands Combat Sports Group. All right, so we'll do the rest of these later on this afternoon. So, the champ did not make weight. How crazy is that? The champ did not make weight, but I don't even know what to say to that. You know what I'm saying? It's insane to me that, your one job as a champion, your one job as a fighter is to make weight. The fighting part is the easy part. The stepping to the scale and making weight, that's your job. That is your job. And you are a champion of the world in the UFC. I know Dana White, if he had hair, would be pulling it out right now because I'm sure he's pissed off beyond belief. I remember when I went to UFC 206 in Toronto, it was Max Holloway fighting for an interim featherweight championship. And he was fighting Aldo. And no, he wasn't fighting Aldo, was it? Who was he fighting? UFC 206. Now I got to pull those. See, my brain gets full of my brain gets full of chatter, and then I forget some stuff. So let me just bring this up here. Anthony Pettis missed weight. They were fighting for an interim featherweight championship. Anthony Pettis missed weight, and he was not allowed to become the champion had he won the fight. But Max Holloway was still allowed to become the champion. Max Holloway did win the fight and won that interim championship at UFC 206. So, but that was a little bit of a different situation than this. I can't remember I can't remember if it ever happened where the reigning champion did not make weight. The sitting champion, the undisputed champion, not an interim champ, the champ, didn't make weight. I can't remember if that's ever happened. Quiggins, has that ever happened before? If you recall, do you remember? I don't remember. But I do know that it's unacceptable to miss weight. So what they're saying right now, that Charles Oliveira is no longer the lightweight champion of the world in the UFC. The fight will go on, but only one man can walk out with the belt, and that man is Justin the Highlight Gaethje. I can't believe that this is going on right now. I don't understand how this can happen. Well, I do understand how it can happen. The champ wasn't on point. I mean, when he stepped on the scale earlier this afternoon, he looked drawn out. He looked like completely shocked that he did not hit the target weight, but he did not hit the target weight. He stripped down to from his underwear to full nude. They put the barricade up around him. It was 155.5. They gave him an hour. And in that hour, he was unable to cut, which when I made my original post about this, I said, I don't think he has a half a pound to give. He looked drawn out and defeated. He looked defeated on the scale. I guess that's the best way to describe it. He already looked defeated, like he had already lost the fight. And he did. He lost the fight on the scale. And I think, him having to go back and make weight, I think he has a full advantage to Gaethje tomorrow night. I know Oliveira was coming in as the favorite. I think the odds are going to change now. Because when you go to the scale to weigh in, and you think you made it, and you step on that scale, and you physically gave all you had, and you mentally, thought you were on, and then you hit the scale and the numbers come up different than where you thought you were going to be, it's completely deflating and defeating. And Oliveira, you could see on his face, he was shocked that he missed weight. And he looked completely defeated. I can't describe it any other way than looking defeated on the scale. I don't think it bodes well for him tomorrow night inside the octagon. I know Justin Gaethje is hungry. He's chomping at the bit to become the champion. And now all he has to do is win the fight. And again, if he does not win, we have a vacant lightweight champion or a vacant lightweight title. Now, what makes this really interesting, let's say Justin Gaethje doesn't win tomorrow night, which I'm picking Justin Gaethje to win. I was picking him before the weight cut mishap today. But let's say Gaethje doesn't win. Now we have a vacant title. Now you know what's going to happen. In strolls Conor McGregor. That's right. Conor McGregor will fight for a lightweight championship, especially if the belt is vacant. In his comeback fight, which will happen later this year. He looks so big and buff. I don't know if he can get down to 155, but I guarantee you he's going to do everything in his power to get down to 155 because this scenario plays out better for Conor McGregor than any other fighter on the lightweight roster. Except for Justin Gaethje right now. Gaethje has the opportunity of a lifetime to go out there and just win a fight. And even if he, like I said, as long as he wins, he's the champ. Which, of course, before Oliveira missed weight, if Gaethje won, he was the champ either way. But this adds a whole new dynamic to the fight. I'm interested to see, and I'm waiting to see, if something pops up from Gaethje on social media, his thoughts on this whole scenario. This is going to be, like I said, I can't wait to hear from Justin Gaethje. I just don't know what he's going to say. I don't know how he feels. He has nothing to be pissed about. He becomes a champion regardless if he wins. So this doesn't really change it for Gaethje, but I guarantee you there's a little piece of him that knows that he's got an advantage because Oliveira, this is going to break him. He's not the champion right now. So tomorrow night when Bruce Buffer makes his announcement, it will not be your reigning, defending, undisputed champion. It's going to be your former UFC lightweight champion, Charles Oliveira, taking on your former interim lightweight champion, Justin Gaethje. Nobody walks into this fight as a champion. So I find that very interesting, and we'll see how it all breaks down. Now, I'm going to come back to this stuff, but before I do, because I want to wait to see some more information pop up, I did some interviews yesterday at the BKFC25 weigh-ins, so I'm going to play them. I got interviews with the champ and the challenger, Dustin Kleckler, or Dylan Kleckler. Dustin Kleckler, that's his brother. I got an interview with the champ, Dylan Kleckler, or with the challenger. See, I call him the champ. I got to get my shit together. I got an interview with the challenger, Dylan, the bad boy Kleckler. I also have an interview with the champ, Arnold Beaumier Adams. Now, the Kleckler interview looks fine. I don't know what happened in the transfer of the Adams video, but it looks choppy, but the audio is clear. So bear with me on the video and just listen to the audio. It's there. There's video with me and Aaron Adams. It just looks like slow motion robotic. I don't know why. I went out and re-edited it. I still can't get it to work right here on StreamYard. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play for you first my interview with Dylan Kleckler from BKFC 25 weigh-ins yesterday. So here it is.
What's up, boys and girls? It's KHR Christopher James here live at the Carib Orlando in Orlando, Florida, ahead of BKFC 25 for the heavyweight championship of the world. One of the men in the fight is this young man standing right next to me. He's challenging in the biggest fight of his career, taking on Arnold Beaumier Adams. This is Dylan, the bad boy Kleckler. Dylan, how'd we get here, bro? And make sure you speak up so the people out there can hear you.
Just training hard and doing what you're supposed to whenever they call on me. I've had 3 fights, and both those fights ended with a finish. That's just what you're supposed to do as a fighter.
This is definitely the biggest fight of your career. You fought at Island Fight, you fought at other places as well, but never for a world championship. And BKFC is the biggest bare-knuckle organization on the planet Earth. The recognition, the fame, and everything that goes along with it. Are you ready for this fight? I mean, this is what you've been working your whole career for.
I'm ready for this fight. I trained. I had a very long training camp. Got in all the work that I need. I'm confident. I'm ready to go. Feel great. I'm in shape. This is the fight for me. This is the one I've been waiting for. Fight of my life.
And Arnold Adams, tell us about your opponent. What are your thoughts on Arnold? I noticed, there hasn't been any smack talk, any, garbage stuff. I know you don't like that. Arnold doesn't like that. So there hasn't been a lot of trash talk. There's been more trash talk about Frank Tate getting into one of these fights, whoever wins this fight. But give me your thoughts on the champ, Arnold Adams.
Nothing but respect for him, as well as all fighters. He's a 2-time champ. I feel like that speaks for itself. He has his own style, and he has done things that not a lot of people have done in the bare knuckle realm.
And how was the camp leading into this fight? Good?
It was a good camp, man. I had a great camp. It was a long camp. Everything, all the boxes checked, ready to go.
There was a moment coming up to this fight where it had taken the BKFC quite a while to book this fight. And people were wondering if you were going to get the fight. I told people months ago this was the fight that was going to happen because I knew there was no other contender at the point. I mean, people were talking about Frank Tate, but you have a winner with Frank Tate, so he can't jump the line. Was there any nerves on your end worrying that they might look past you for this fight?
They told me a while back that this was going to be the fight. I didn't necessarily know when the fight was going to happen because they moved it back a few times. But yeah, I was aware of who I was going to fight.
Well, listen, man, I am so excited for you to get this opportunity. I know you're a long time. We come through Island fights together. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy that you're getting to live your dream and fight for a world title. And, win, lose, or draw to your fans and your family and your friends out there, man, you're always going to be the champ anyway. So good luck to you tomorrow night, man. God bless. And if you want to tell everybody how to keep up with you on social media, do it now.
Follow me on Instagram with Dylan Kleckler at Instagram.com. Thanks.
Dylan Kleckler, Instagram.com. That's it. So tomorrow night, BKFC. If you're not going to be in Orlando, log on to the app, BKTV app. You have a code out there? So people can log in and
I'll put the code on my social media.
So it'll be on the social media, and I'll get the code and I'll put it on my social media as well, and I'll put Arnold's up there. So whichever guy you're supporting, you can support them. But this is Dylan, the Bad Boy Kleckler, Pensacola's own. He's coming for the belt tomorrow night in Orlando. And Dylan, once again, thanks a lot, man. Good luck and God bless, brother.
Thank you.
That was my interview with challenger Dylan Kleckler. Now we're going to bring you the interview with champion Arnold Adams. Like I said, this one, little choppy. I don't know what happened in the transfer of the video to the show, but it's the best I can do with it right now. So the audio is perfectly clear. The video is a little weird, but enjoy the interview, and let's get this thing shared up with you guys right now. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see if this one works. Nope, that one didn't work. Let's try this. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just weird. Boom. Boom.
What's up, boys and girls?
We're just going to get this full screen.
K-Star Christopher James live in Orlando, Florida for BKFC 25 weigh-ins, and the man right here, Arnold Adams. He is the champ, the heavyweight champion of the world. Tomorrow night he takes on Dylan Kleckler. It's going to be here live if you don't have tickets, or get on the BKTV app and watch it from there if you're somewhere else in the country. First of all, champ, thank you for taking the time with us today, man.
No problem.
So how you feeling, man? Weight cut, everything good?
No, weight cut. I don't cut weight. I kind of keep my main. Matter of fact, I usually come in around 240, but my boxing coach was like, we're not going to give up any weight. We're going to be as close to 265 as possible and work on you being able to move and maintain the energy levels at that weight, and that's what we focused on.
So I didn't even hear what you officially weighed in at.
257.
So 257, so a little bit closer to the champion, top of the weight class.
Right.
I think that's the heaviest I've seen you come into BKFC. You normally don't come in this heavy. That I remember.
Ever since I lost my fight, I started coming in a lower weight. Prior to, I'll usually be around 262, 265, 262 something. The first 3 fights in the tournament, I was around 260 something. After I lost my 4th fight, I started dropping the weight, keeping the weight under 265. But now, and I was just on my own working. Now I got a boxing coach, and his thing was, let's not give up any weight at all. Let's be as close to heavyweight as we possibly can. So that's what we focused on.
Well, you looked great up there. You and Dylan both look good up there. You're two guys that I have a lot of respect for and a lot of admiration and a lot of love for. I've known you for a while. I've known Dylan for a while.
Right.
I love both of you. I don't know who's going to win this fight, and it's a fight that I'm not even going to make a prediction on because I feel like I would hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, you or Dylan. I know you two both, Dylan. You both always treated me with respect, so I'm just going to let you guys go out there and fight it out and hope you both walk out of the ring tomorrow night under your own power.
Okay.
It's a good fight. Tell me what you think about Dylan Kleckler facing you, because, like I asked Dylan the same thing. There's been no smack talk, no trash talk. I know both you guys don't like that. And I said to him, there's been more talk about who's coming next, which is Frank Tate. Frank Tate sitting in the wings, and everybody's talking about Frank Tate because he took out Beltran, which nobody's been able to do yet.
Right.
So first, give me your thoughts on Dylan, then we'll get to the Frank Tate thing in a moment.
There's a lot of respect there. I respect him more because he didn't talk shit. which lets me know that he's mentally locked in. He knows what it is to be a fighter. He doesn't need to trash talk his opponent or do little antics to get himself hyped up for the fight. He's already has it in his head that this is going to be a banger, and I like him for that. I really do. Like, even when we did our face-to-face, there was a lot of mutual respect when we did our face-to-face interview with Schmo. But that's really about it. I mean, he's got good power, you know. He's a big dude. He's a strong dude. But, you know, like I tell everybody, it's different when you're in there with me.
Yeah.
I'm not like any other heavyweight. I have the power. Do I flex the power or use it? No, not so much. I prefer to move, stick and move. That's always been my game plan. That's what it's always been for me, and it's worked. I can bang, as you saw with Mick Terrell.
Yep.
As you saw with Bobo O'Bannon. I can bang if need to. I can unload the power. But one thing I've learned in my entire fight career is constantly throwing power. You wear yourself out. Even if you play the UFC fight games, you keep throwing power, your energy bar is going to drop, and you're going to go down. So you got to have a balance here. You got to figure it out and put it together.
Well, you know, and you know Dylan likes to come inside. He's going to try to work to get inside you. That's where Dylan is most dangerous. He can get you from range as well, just like you can get him from range as well. But Dylan does like to come in. He likes to work in those close quarters.
Right.
And you like to use your footwork. So how do you adapt to somebody that's really coming in like that? Because I think he's different than most of the other guys you fought here at BKFC.
Well, Joey likes to fight on the inside. Everyone feels that I'm not comfortable on the inside. A lot of my fights I've won on the inside. I can pick you apart on the inside, and as soon as we get in close, I'm comfortable on the inside because I can feel what's coming. I can feel what you're about to throw. I have great feeling. I have great awareness. It's when I talk about my IQ, that it's more than just the physical. You got to have the mental. You have to have, what can I say? It's more than just the physical. I'm gonna just say that. It's also it's a lot of mental.
You have to have both pieces come together.
And you have to be able to collect data and intel and use that mid-fight. Like, I make adjustments on the fly. If I get prime example, I fought Mick Terrell. He 1-2 cracked me. Okay,
I remember that.
He's good from outside the range. He knows to close. Let me get in tight. Let's work on the inside. Because I know over in London they don't tie up. You tie up, they separate. So let me get it inside and work on the inside, and it worked. He had no answer for me on the inside when we tied up, and that's how I ended up putting in the fight.
Made him uncomfortable in there because he wasn't used to it. Whereas Dylan, on the other hand, is used to it. He will work on the inside with you.
That's true.
The clinch game for both you guys is there. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think the one place I see where you might have the advantage is the footwork, because Dylan doesn't fight the same type of same type of style that you fight.
Gotcha.
I got all stuck over me like you did a minute ago.
I got you.
But he does have good footwork. I think your footwork's a little bit better, and I think that's your advantage in this fight. I think power cancels each other out because I know you have big, heavy power in your hands.
Right.
We all know Dylan has big, heavy power.
Being at this weight alone, it brings power.
Yeah, so people forget that sometimes.
Just simple turning your shoulders, rotating your hips, it brings that power naturally. But no, yeah.
So if you get through this challenge tomorrow night, you defend the belt against Dylan. Frank Tate is waiting in the wings. I don't think anybody can deny that Frank Tate is next. I mean, he's been on a win streak. He just took out the champ. That's 2 in a row.
That's two in a row. Two knockouts in a row. That's true.
And remember, we're still young here,
right?
So it's not like there's guys that have 10 fights that are coming at you. So he makes sense. You know, he just took out the former champ. I mean, you beat Joey to get the belt. But he just knocked him out. Nobody's ever done that to him.
In the first round, got him out of there. Yeah.
So he took him out. So his star is on the rise. So what do you think of a possible? And I hate to ask you to pass this fight, but just out of curiosity, what do you think of Frank Tate as a fighter if that fight comes up next for you? If you defend here and win?
I mean, if Frank Tate is next, if I win this, you know, then that's what it is. Am I worried about Frank Tate? Not at all. Not at all. Why did he knock out Josh Burns and Joey Beltran? Because they sit still. They didn't move. Am I going to sit still?
No.
Not a chance in hell. So, but I honestly feel like there should be a title eliminator because they're pushing one person and the other person just smoked some good competition. So I think they should figure something out here.
So who should be the title eliminator then? Frank Tate and who?
And Alan Belcher. In my opinion.
I saw the ranking, and they had Belcher ranked way up top, and I don't even understand that because he hasn't fought anybody yet.
I don't get it.
That's why I said they have who they're pushing and who they want. That's why I think there should be a title eliminator. Because otherwise, there's going to be a whole lot of back and forth, and people going to be in their feelings about it, and they're going to be sitting there waiting on me. At least this way, it keeps them active while I'm healing after this fight. Or if
you have to heal.
Right.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you just weighed in. You want to go relax and get yourself into your fight mode, but I want to say thank you for taking the time. All the respect in the world to you, man. Nothing but love for you. And real quick, tell everybody how to keep up with you on your social media.
Instagram, arnold.bomaye.adams.
That's BOMAYE.
There you go. Facebook, Arnold Adams. I have a Facebook fan page. I have Twitter, everything else. Just search Arnold Adams. I'll pop up.
And tomorrow night, guys, it's the heavyweight championship of the world. Oh, you know what? That's what I wanted to ask you. I almost forgot. The Police Gazette is no longer involved with BKFC. You have that Police Gazette heavyweight belt. What's your thoughts on them not being here anymore? Because now you can never defend that belt, and they're going to end up, 8 months from now, when you don't defend it, they can't strip you of it because you have the belt, you own the belt, you're not giving it back, obviously.
Right.
But does that piss you off that you don't get a chance to defend that because of something with the promoter and the Police Gazette?
I honestly feel like it'll work itself out, and they'll be back on board. I just think it takes for the two parties to have to sit down and come to some type of formal agreement. Because it is stressful seeing it, and as I have that belt, but I can carry it around, but then when they strip me of it, it's like
yeah, they're going to let two other guys or some other promotion fight for a heavyweight championship.
Yeah,
that neither of them should be fighting for because you're the rightful title holder.
Now, my suggestion on it was to do a cross promotion fight.
Like BYB and BKB do.
Exactly. So I have the Police Gazette title. Why not? Whoever wants, they want to challenge me from another promotion. Let's set it up. Let's do promotion versus promotion. Same thing with Lorenzo Hunt. You got one. Someone wants to challenge you from another promotion. Let's do it. And we'll put the Police Gazette belt on the line, and have both promotions promote it and do it that way. That's my suggestion on it because there's only 3 bare knuckle organizations that really matter.
Correct.
BKB, BYB, and the BKFC.
Of course.
I think that would be a great thing to do, but that's my opinion. Let's see what happens.
Well, I appreciate that, and I wanted to get your thoughts. I almost forgot to ask you. I almost let you go. And that was an important question because that affects you. I mean, you have that history-making belt. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's tomorrow night, the Carib Royale in Orlando, Florida for the heavyweight championship of the world. Arnold Adams taking on Dylan Kleckler. It's live tomorrow night on the BKTV app. If you're not here in Orlando, get the BKTV app, sign up. It's $4.99 a month. How can you beat that for a combat sport event where, especially BKFC right now, where they're doing events like every weekend? Do you have a code you want to share, or do you want just people to go to your social media?
I have it on my social media. I don't know what it is offhand, but if you just go to my Facebook or Instagram page, you'll see the link. Click the link, and you can go from there.
All right, well, listen, Champ, we'll let you get out of here. Thank you so much for taking the time. For the Champ, Arnold Adams, I'm Christopher James, and you've been Cage. I will see you guys later.
If you want merch, Arnold, BomayeAdams.shop.
Arnold, BomayeAdams.shop.
This is on there. I have hoodies, hats. I got some new things in the works, tie-dye colors. If you support me, go to the website, order you some merch.
So merch, get his code so you can support him when you download the app.
Yes.
And that's it, boys. That's the Champ, boys and girls. That's the Champ right there. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Christopher James. You all been Cage. I will see you guys tomorrow night at the fights. Boom. That dog is a trip.
Yeah, he probably smells my dog on me.
And that was my interview with the Champ, Arnold Adams. Like I said, I apologize. Again, I apologize before the interview and I apologize after the interview. I don't know what happened in the editing process where I couldn't get the video to play and stream normally, but the audio was there, so you got to hear it all. Again, breaking news, the UFC has stripped Charles Oliveira of his lightweight championship belt because he missed weight. He came in this morning, he weighed 156. He took off his underwear, he weighed 155 and a half. I didn't know underwear weighed a half a pound, but what do I know? They gave him an hour to cut the additional half pound because, if you follow combat sports, there is no 1 pound allowance. There is actual weight. So you have to be 155 or 170 or whatever the championship weight is for whatever division you're fighting in. You have to make that weight. That is your job. Job 1 is to make weight, not fight, make weight. So Charles Oliveira came in at 156, stripped down. He got to 155.5. They gave him an hour. He still weighed 155.5. I called it when I made the announcement originally after watching the weigh-in show that I didn't believe he had anything left to give. He looked drawn out. He looked defeated on the scale. Charles Oliveira is no longer the UFC lightweight champion of the world. Well, Forrest, if he wins, the belt stays vacant. And if he wins and the belt stays vacant, look for Conor McGregor to slide into a championship fight against whoever is next, because that's what will happen. The UFC, even though Dana White is upset right now, I know he's mad because he hates when shit like this happens, especially at a championship level. He hates when fighters miss weight. However, Dana White is probably already, 3 steps ahead of the rest of us in reaching out to Conor. I'm sure, Conor, by the way, is celebrating the 5-year, his first son, it's his first son's 5th birthday today. Conor was out celebrating. I saw some pictures on social media. Happy birthday to that young man. But you guarantee you that Conor McGregor is paying close attention. I guarantee you Conor McGregor is already figuring out how he can navigate the waters to get himself a championship fight if Oliveira is to win the fight. I took Jake Gaethje to win. I think Gaethje was going to win before this. I think even more so now Gaethje is going to win after this thing. I think Charles Dubrox Oliveira has got to be beside himself right now. Mentally, this has got to crush him. And I don't think he's going to have what it takes to have the mental fortitude to stay focused on this fight tomorrow night and win the fight. If he does, then who knows what they're going to do. Maybe it'll be Charles versus Conor for a title fight, because obviously Gaethje won't be involved in it again. So, actually, let me pull up these UFC rankings. I pull up the rankings here just for shits and giggles. So let me see something here. Yeah. I'm just going to pull up the MMA Junkie rankings real quick. Rankings, just for shits and giggles. So let's go to the lightweight and see what we got here. So as it sits right now, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier is still there. There we go. That's going to be it right there, because Dustin Poirier is number 2 in the rankings. So imagine this, Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor for the lightweight championship of the world. If Gaethje loses tomorrow night, I expect fully well that that's what's going to happen. I know Dustin Poirier said he wanted to fight up at 170 and take on Nate Diaz, but this situation now that's in front of us, there's Islam Makhachev, Rafael dos Anjos, Dariush Beneil Dariush. Connor's still ranked number 7. I don't know why. Tony Ferguson, and Michael Chandler are also going to be in that mix. Again, if Gaethje wins, then there's no scenario. Maybe Gaethje versus Conor. I don't know. But it's really just it's all just crazy right now. I don't know. Well, there's a lot of bad matchups for Conor. But again, Conor McGregor is the UFC's money man. So if they can place him in a title fight and, make it make sense, which after this, again, if Oliveira wins this fight tomorrow night, we have a vacant lightweight championship. There is no champion. So the UFC can slide McGregor in. He's ranked number 7. I'm sure he's ranked higher in the UFC's official rankings. I gave you the rankings from MMA Junkie. So, I don't think Conor's a true featherweight anymore. He's probably walking around about 200 pounds right now. The guy is ripped and buff. He's been adding muscle and adding weight, almost similar to what John Jones has been doing to become a heavyweight. So, again, breaking news, Charles Oliveira has been stripped of his UFC lightweight championship because he missed weight this afternoon on the scale, coming in at 155.5 pounds after having an hour to cut a half a pound to make championship weight. Justin Gaethje made weight with no issue on the scale. Carla Esparza and Rose Namajunas also made weight with no issues on the scale. So that title fight is a go. At strawweight, it's a rematch. It's exciting. Don't forget tonight we have PFL We have Bellator, and we have Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship BKFC 25 live from the Carib, Orlando. You can watch BKFC either at the event in Orlando, or you can watch it live on the BKTV app and on Facebook for the first early prelims of the night. PFL will air on ESPN2 and ESPN Plus, and Bellator will air on YouTube and on Showtime networks. So those are the big fights coming up tonight. Tomorrow night will be the UFC on ESPN Plus. And that's it. So thanks for tuning in for this special edition of K-Star with Christopher James. Monday on the show, we are going to have Cleveland McLean. He was supposed to join us last week. Something came up and he couldn't make the show. He's a MMA fighter out of Florida, Combat Night OG. He just recently fought and won his last fight by a beautiful head kick knockout. It was absolutely exquisite. We'll have Nate Maness, UFC bantamweight, joining us on the show. And we'll have Jared Grant, the interim BKFC 135-pound champion, joining us on the show as well. So that's going to be this Monday night, starting around 7 or 7:30. I'll lock in the times. I'll let you guys know Sunday or early Monday what time the show will take place. So once again, it's going to be UFC fighter Nate Maness, BKFC fighter, interim bantamweight champion Jared Grant, and MMA fighter Cleveland McLean. We also might have the winner of this heavyweight fight tomorrow or tonight, Arnold Adams and Dylan Kleckler. I'm probably going to do my best to get the winner on the show with us live. So that's it, boys and girls. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of my life today, and for allowing me to be a part of your lives for just a little bit of a minute. And I do appreciate it more than I can ever put into words. But that's going to do it for me here at K-Star Christopher James. So until next time, I am Christopher James. Y'all have been K-Star with me this afternoon. Enjoy the fights this weekend, and we'll talk again on Monday, guys. Peace.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Throw up the deuces. There you go, baby.